Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome the first time. And yeah, tonight I'm back. And this is the tag called the First Date Book Tag. So stay tuned. Okay everyone, just to start off with, this is the first video I've been doing since Saturday. I've not been feeling well. A little bit of flu. It's very cold here. But I'm feeling better now and I want to get something out there. So let's get going. And so this is the First Date Book Tag. It's a brand new original tag created by Marlicia at Marlicia Muses and by Tahlia at Tahlia Nerds Out. Now, what I believe is that this is a mother and daughter, I think I saw this from one of the other videos. And I was tagged by Pat, with Book Chat with Pat, and by Stuart Griffin. And go check out those wonderful channels. And this is what Marlicia said about the tag. This original, as far as we can tell, book tag, was inspired by my husband's suggestions that Tahlia and I used to brainstorm. Did you ever think of choosing a book as analogous to a first date, with all its suspense and excitement? Yes, no. So all of these prompts refer to as, the first one is, what books do you regret buying? Do you have any regrets about a first date? So all these prompts are a little bit like that. So let's get on with it. Okay, prompt number one is, what books do you regret buying? Now people, I don't regret buying books. Buying books for me is therapy. And yes, you might buy a whole bunch of books and one of them might be really disappointing. But disappointing is not the same as regret. I love going into a bookshop and just browsing and finding a couple of titles. It's therapeutic. It's cheaper than going to therapy. And it just makes me feel good. In terms of disappointing, yes. And this book, Zombie by Joyce Carol Oates. Now, we actually bought this overseas because I really wanted it. And I heard good things, heard it was super disturbing, which I like, people. It's a horror channel. And it's a short book, got halfway through and DNF'd it. So this is going to come up in the conversation again. But that's disappointing. I don't regret buying it so much. Can't live with regret. Prompt number two. Do you DNF books? Why or why not? At what point do you DNF? If you do, how much time do you generally invest before DNFing? Okay, now I did a whole video on DNFing quite a while back, and my approach to it. And I've never been really good at it in the past. I've always kind of struggled through with books that maybe I shouldn't read. Like, for instance, if I was to read this right now for the first time, I'd probably DNF it. But we're going to come back to this book as well. But there's two parts to this. I DNF for two reasons. I DNF, a hard DNF, like for Zombie. Didn't enjoy the writing. I couldn't get into the book at all. And I could see it was probably going to get more disturbing. But if you don't enjoy the writing, life's too short, just put it down. But then there's another reason for DNFing. Maybe you're not in the right mind space. So instead of calling it a DNF, you call it a shelve for later. And that's what I've done with Lizzie's Story by Stephen King. I got this far, but I was going through stuff and my head wasn't in the right space. And that's not fair to say I hated the book, because I didn't. There were parts of it I was really enjoying, but I just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't get lost in it. I'm going to pick this up at a later time. And the next part of the question was, at what point do you DNF? If you do, how much time do you generally invest before DNFing? Well, I don't really have a particular point. I just decide enough's enough. Life's too short. There are other books out there. Put the book down. Either shelve it or put it down and get on to a better book. That's my Okay, prompt number 3. Is there a book you did not want to come to an end, couldn't put down? Yes, my favorite book of all time, which is Swan Song. I could not put this down, people, even at its massive size. Over 900 pages. I loved every single word. And I finished this in 2.5 days on holiday. I think I've spoken about this on my channel. But yeah, I loved everything about it. In particular the characters. That's a later prompt as well. But the characters just come to life. And I can still think of them. Josh and Swan. And yeah, I just absolutely adore this book. So yeah, that's my answer for that. Okay, the next one is interesting. Prompt number 4. Have you experienced withdrawal after finishing a specific book? Not wanted to move on to other characters, wanted to reread the whole book or sections of it immediately after finishing, etc. Well, yeah, I mean, Swan Song by Robert McCammon. I did kind of look back on sections. This book is beautiful. And I did start rereading it, but I thought it's a better idea to, with a book you really, really care about, not to reread it straight away. Let it linger in your mind. Enjoy the memories, and then maybe a year or two later, pick it up again. So, yeah, one day I am going to reread this book again. And I want to talk about another book that I've just read. And this is part of my book club, Fright Club, or Chris and I, our book club. And that is Weird World. And I've just finished this. And this was the 3rd reread. And it's still as beautiful and magical as ever. And we're going next month, I think halfway through the month, we're going to do a live show. Chris and I are going to have a live chat about this book. I'm a little bit nervous about how she feels, but we'll see. This book is very special to me. Very special. Prompt number 5. What keeps you invested in a book? Well, for me the most important thing is characters. Yeah, it'll be 3-dimensional. They've got to feel real. You can love them or hate them. You don't want to be indifferent to them. They kind of pop off the page and you care about what happens to them. And even the secondary characters, it's a bonus if you care about them as well. Maybe not as much. And obviously the story has to be a good story, and it has to be well written. And beautiful prose is a big bonus. Like someone like Ray Bradbury. And in fact, it's for someone like Ray Bradbury, prose becomes even more important than other stuff for me. It's just beautiful. And Clive Barker, the book I've just shown you. Gorgeous prose. But yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of everything, but mainly the characters. You've got to get invested in them. Yeah. Prompt number 6. What prompts you to pick up a book? The cover, the blurb on the back of the book, etc. I'm going to go with etc. first of all. I'm going to pick up a book if I recognize the author. One of my favorite authors. So if it's something new that Stephen King has brought out, or something I haven't read yet by Stephen King, even if it's non-fiction, I'm going to buy it. And then, yeah, you talk about the cover. I love my vintage horror. I love those old school vintage horror paperbacks with covers like this, like Alligator. That's awesome. I'm not even going to read the back. I'm going to buy that, even if it is frickin' terrible. And we're going to get back to that just now. But yeah, so sometimes the cover will make me buy it. Most of the time though, especially if it's a more modern horror, I'm going to read the back and I want to see if I am intrigued by what the story might be about. And that comes to a real problem these days, because a lot of the old school horror looked like this, and yeah, a lot of the newer horror looks more like thriller books. You know, covers seem to be not so important anymore, so sometimes you don't know what you're getting into. Is it a horror, is it a thriller? I don't know if that's a marketing thing, but yeah, that frustrates the hell out of me. But yeah, for the most part, there goes Layla, right on cue. For the most part I will look at the back, unless it's a cover like this. Yeah. Prompt number 7. Do you keep finished books to reread, or do you unhaul them? People have only done one unhaul on this channel in 3 years. I'm a hoarder. And I love collecting books. But I am going to have a huge haul very soon. And I have done an unhaul just recently. And I think I'm going to have to do a few more, because it's just, I've got so many books and there's no space in spare room cupboards and all over the place. So I'm going to have to maybe relook at that, and maybe choose horror books that I haven't enjoyed as much. But I don't want to get rid of Alligator because of the cover, people. Because of the cover. Maybe I should let it go, but no, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, and to be honest, yeah, I think I need to just be honest with myself. A lot of the horror books that I've got that are not vintage, I haven't enjoyed as much, and I need to make space with new exciting books, because we don't have the space and it's really getting overcrowded with books. Yeah, so that's my answer to that. Prompt number 8. Who or what do you trust most for book recommendations? BookTube, people. But the thing is that it's not about just one booktuber that I trust recommending the book. If I see it popping up all over the place on kind of horror booktube, from horror tubers, and people that say they love this book and you've got to read this book, so there's multiple recommendations, then I'm going to seek it out and I'm going to get it. But if it's only 1 or 2 channels, yeah, I'm not going to necessarily do that. And my wife sometimes surprises me with books because she knows my taste. The problem there is that sometimes she'll buy a book, and because she doesn't know my shelf, well, sometimes I hardly know all the books that I own, and she might get a duplicate. So we've got to the point where she'll phone me and say, have you got this book? And I'll say, oh, thanks honey. Yes, I've got it. Find another one. So yeah, it's one of those situations. My dad likes to recommend books to me, but he's more of a thriller adventure kind of reader. So mostly I choose books myself, sometimes with my wife. 8.5 bonus question. Would you ever pick up a book and read it without knowing anything about it? Or conversely, let someone else choose your book for you? In brackets there, blind date, laugh out loud. Let someone else choose my date for me. No. Yeah, I have covered this. I have picked up a book without knowing anything about it. And I'm going to use the same example, sorry people, being lazy tonight, Alligator. So yeah, picked it up, didn't know anything about it, read it the whole way through and was bitterly disappointed. But I'm not going to give this book away, because this is freaking awesome, this cover. You've got to agree with me, right? And yeah, I'm not going to let other people, just doing the same thing I've just spoken about, I'm not going to let other people choose my books for me, because I'm just going to get duplicates. So unless they have a list of books that I want, that actually is what I give my wife sometimes, like write out all the books that I really want that I don't own, and if they find them, that's cool. But otherwise, don't just randomly buy, because yeah, I once had 3 duplicates of Pet Sematary once upon a time. So. Okay, finally it says tag some people, prompt number 9. And yeah, if you're watching this tag and you love these prompts, you love these questions, and you feel that you'd like to do them, consider yourself tagged. And what I'm going to do is down below, I'm going to tag people, just a few people. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself with this. Let me know what you think down in the spaces below. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Don't worry, I'm feeling a lot better. But take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, keep those pages turning, and cheers.